right, when you hear the sound, it's time for Talk Sport on Global Television. My name is Anthony Momo, the King of Sport, and I will be looking at the 34th edition of the African Cup of Nations in close quarters as we reach the business end of that tournament. It's the semi-finals we are looking up to right now because the quarterfinals are done and dusted. All right, we'll also be looking at the English Premier League where a lot of actions went down over the weekend. It was Manchester United against Wolves and Arsenal taking on Liverpool, while Chelsea got the wrong end of the bargain when they faced Wolves. Big matches we'll be looking at, and also we've got big stories concerning one of the French internationals, talking about Mbappe. Is he moving to Spain to join Real Madrid? Is one of the big stories that we'll be looking at on today's edition of the program Talk Sports. But we'll begin from where it matters most, the 34th edition of the African Cup of Nations. And let's tell you that Ivory Coast secured last-minute win with an incredible let go to send them through to the semi-finals as they beat Mali 2-1 on Saturday. Omar Diakité scored in added time after the match was sent to extra time, netting 122nd minute winner for the host nation. Moment after finding the back of the net with a back heel flick after a shot from outside the box following a corner, Diakité was sent off for his wild celebrations. Let's also let you know that Hamari Traore of Mali followed him seconds later after surrendering the referee before officials were escorted off for their safety. As the final whistle blew, Ivory Coast continued their wild celebrations as they booked a spot in AFCON semi-finals. All right, that's a big story about the host nation qualifying for the semi-final. One man is still excited talking about Nigeria's Super Eagles who also beat the Palanga Snagras on Friday to qualify for this semi-final. Delighted after his son's goal against Angola saw Nigeria progress to the semi-finals of the African Cup of Nations. Nigeria prevailed with a 1-0 win with Atlanta. Lukman finding the net in the 41st minute following their victory. Nigeria will face Cape Verde now in the last four. Lukman's father was interviewed after the game and he said, "I am happy, I am overwhelmed, I am so happy, I am pleased for Nigeria winning this game." However, it wasn't all good news for Nigeria, with Victor Osimhen having to be taken off a stretcher after suffering an injury. That's a very sad story there, talking about Victor Osimhen being stretched out. We hope that he'll be fit for the remaining semi-final matches and hopefully the final matches of the African Cup of Nations. All right, let's give you some foreign news. I've got a guest I will be introducing later on, but let's keep it under wraps. Let's give you some stories on the foreign scene before we come back to the African Cup of Nations and give you some highlights of the matches that were played. Let's give you this one. It's concerning Arsenal. Let's say that Kane and Jamie Carragher slammed Virgil van Dijk's defending, blaming him for all the three goals as Arsenal beat Liverpool 3-1 at the Emirates on Sunday in an important clash in the race for the Premier League title. Arsenal regained the lead when the defensive miscommunication between Van Dijk and Liverpool goalkeeper Alisson Becker allowed an easy opportunity for Gabriel Martinelli. Speaking after the game to Sky Sports, Kane was particularly unimpressed by the performance of Van Dijk, who is on your picture screen now, so long a stalwart in the heart of Liverpool backline. Let's also let you, that's the confusion between Van Dijk and his goalkeeper, giving Martinelli the chance to score the all-important equalizer. All right, let's still talking about the Arsenal Liverpool game. Odegaard is in the news. Odegaard is the captain of Arsenal. Let's tell you that Martin Odegaard's phone taking pictures at the end of Arsenal's 3-1 win over Liverpool at the Emirates sparked the anger of Jamie Carragher and started a social media whirlwind. Bukayo Saka, Gabriel Martinelli and Leandro Trossard all got on the score sheet for the Gunners as they closed the gap on Liverpool and Man City at the top of the Premier League table. Arsenal captain Odegaard proceeded to have some fun with the club photographer at the end of the game. Yes, that's the picture there, the right picture there. At the end of the game, taking pictures of him celebrating after the final whistle. But it did not impress Carragher, who was working as a pundit for Sky Sports. As the footage was shown, former Arsenal player Gail Clichy revealed, I remember being taking pictures, but not taking pictures. It's a good night. That's Odegaard there, the captain of Arsenal, taking pictures after their time. They were in action also. And the big story says that the patch, that's talking about Manchester United now, taking on West Ham. The patch on the advertising hoarding board in front of the Stretford End, brothers in arms smiling from ear to ear. That's Alessandro Garnacho, flanked on either side by Rasmus Højlund and Kobe Manu. On the day at Old Trafford, paid tribute to the Munich disaster, talking about the Munich in tragedy that ripped the heart of the Busby babes 66 years ago. The images could hardly have been more significant for this football club. There is a spirit of youth coursing through the veins of United. Garnacho, 19, had just put Erik ten Hag's side 2-0 up ahead of early in the second half against West Ham with the first of his 2 goals here. Højlund celebrated his 21st birthday by firing the opening goal, becoming the youngest United player to score in 4 Premier League games in a row. Manu, who succeeded Garnacho as United Young Player of the Year last summer, continues to perform way beyond his 18 years of age. He was given the standing ovation when he came off in the 64th minute after starting in 3 wins in a week for Manchester United. All right, some other sad story. Yes, those are the 3 young guys, 18, 19, 20 of age. Those 3 young guys are doing wonders for Manchester United. All right, some big story. Martinez is next. Is a big person taking on the news this morning. Let's say that Lisandro Martinez suffered a knee injury. The manager Erik ten Hag called a personal disaster for Manchester United's World Cup winning defender, the Argentine, starting for just the 4th time. Yes, that's the man, the 4th time since a lengthy absence with a foot problem. Was substituted in clear distress after clashing with West Ham's Vladimir Kofa. The injury took the gloss off an impressive United win, which featured a commanding performance from the defender. He will have a test in the coming days, with Ten Hag reluctant to speculate over the injury's severity, but admitting he is praying for good news. All right, that's Martinez. I'm sure United fans all over the world are praying that that man comes back. He is in the heart of their defense. All right, let's take you to Stamford Bridge, talking Chelsea. It's Chelsea versus Wolves next in the big story. Very sad story for Chelsea fans. Let's tell that Chelsea's capacity to hit new lows in this season of strife and self-harm is almost becoming impressive. At this rate of descent, they will strike oil before the close of their campaign. For the 2nd time in a week, they conceded 4 in an embarrassing defeat, but this was not against Liverpool away. No, this was at home in their sanctuary against a side that is merely very good, well coached and pulling in one direction, and therein lay the key difference with Chelsea. They are the Spainless team, a fractious winning team, a team lacking leaders and lacking competency, and here they were reduced to a harrowing mess by Wolves. Very sad story there. Chelsea losing at home by 4 goals to 2. Very sad for all Chelsea fans along the line. All right, some other interesting stories. Let's quickly look at this big story, talking about the man Alejandro Garnacho. Okay, Alejandro Garnacho is in the news this morning. Let's tell you that Alejandro Garnacho enjoyed a copying Mohamed Kudus celebration at Old Trafford after doubling his side's lead over the Hammers. Garnacho fired the ball into the net from outside the box, doubling. Yes, that's the new form of celebration, sitting on that advertising board. Hitting back away fans, Garnacho hopped on the side railing to mimic Ghana Stars' signature celebration. Rasmus Højlund and Kobe Manu also jumped up to join him as the home fans around them were overjoyed at the goal and the celebration. Fans were quick to notice the celebration mirrored the one West Ham star Kudus weighed out after scoring this season. All right, that's copying the Ghanaian star, the West Ham player Kudus, and that's what teams do, having the bragging right whenever they beat you, black, blue, and any color in between. All right, then let's take it to France. Let's talk about this player. His name is Mbappe. Yes, he's a French international. Kylian Mbappe is the man we're talking about right now. Let's tell you that Kylian Mbappe has chosen to join Real Madrid from Paris Saint-Germain in the summer, according to reports. It comes amid a long and drawn-out saga between the French World Cup winner and the Spanish club that has seen the PSG star linked with a move away from Parc des Princes for nearly 4 years, with his contract set to expire with the top Ligue 1 outfit in the summer. Le Parisien reports that Mbappe has decided to leave Ligue 1 at the end of the season and join the biggest club in the world, Madrid, Hala Madrid, which has always been waiting for him. The outlet states that the optimism reigns in Madrid and their negotiations are being carried out for the biggest locker room contract for the 25-year-old winger. Mbappe does have an option to extend his contract at PSG another year, a deal that would see him earn £60 million in the next 12 months. That would also prevent PSG from losing him on a free transfer after the club had initially signed him for £153 million in 2018 from Monaco. All right, that's the man on your screen there, Kylian Mbappe. All right, we hope he'll most likely be joining Real Madrid in the coming weeks. All right, let's quickly take you back to the African Cup of Nations. Let's refresh your memory how the matches went down. The Super Eagles beating Angola, and also Bafana of South Africa beating Cape Verde, and also we look at the host nation, talking about Cote d'Ivoire defeating Mali. Let's look at those 3 games, and once we're done with those 3 games, I will be introducing my guest who has been waiting patiently on the wings to run into action. And that will be after we see these 3 games, talking about the African Cup of Nations. Then we'll be discussing deeply as regards these 3 matches, and also what we expect from the Super Eagles on Wednesday when they face the Bafana of South Africa. Stay with us.